Hello everyone, Colin Canet here for Woodwork Web. Today we're going to be making a really large picture frame out of this old barnwood that Kim at Demex helped me pick out. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you my really cool laser level. You can see it clicking here. We're going to do that at the end of the show, so you want to stay tuned for that. And if this is the first time here, I invite you to subscribe to our channel because we've got lots of videos coming up. First thing to do, we need to cut it to length, then we need to cut it all to width. Working with barnwood can be a bit of a challenge. In this case, I don't want to destroy the outside because that's the patina of the wood. That'll be the outside of the frame, but I still need a sharp line on the inside. So I'm using my tapering jig here, or what could be a tapering jig, and I'll put a link to that for you, to cut a nice straight line to get rid of this jagged edge. And I'm going to need that because I'm going to be cutting a rabbet for the picture frame and the matting to go in later on. So I'll go ahead and set this up and run this through. Well, there's my four sides. There's the top and bottom, and here's the left and right side. Now you can see that I have them together. You'll also notice in the end, I've marked where I want to cut the rabbets for these. And I do that because it helps to reduce any problems of making mistakes, and it reminds me exactly where those need to go. Now let me show you how I'm going to set up the fence and the blade. I really like to use these little measuring bars, and they're very quick to set the height. In this case, I'm going to be using, this is a 3/8 by 3/8 bar. So I just need to set that at the height, and then I'll need to bring the fence over. And the way I put the fence in there is that wants to be on the outside of the blade. So when I look down from the top here, I can see that this bar is just on the outside of that blade. And when I do some cuts with this, and we'll show you when I do this, that will give me a 3/8 by 3/8 inch rabbet, which will be perfect for this frame. Now I've made one cut on every one of these boards, and I need to make another one. So I've got one vertical cut here. I now need to make one other cut. And because this wood is rough on the outside, normally I would try and do all of these cuts so that the offcut fell on the outside of the blade so that we don't get any kickback. In this case, I can't do that because I need to keep this rough. I don't want this sanded and flat. It'll lose the patina. So in this rare case, I am going to be putting this through the saw like this, and you can see that when I cut that, it's going to trap that little piece of wood in there, and it's going to kick it out the back of the saw. And there's nothing out there that I'm worried about. What I need to make sure is that I'm standing to the side when I make these cuts. So the first thing I'm going to do is just run one side of each board. I'm going to measure down here and make a mark, and that mark will be my guideline to cutting the end off the other side of this side of the frame. And I think we're going to use the doweling jig. I've never done that with this, but I think that's going to be the best thing. I'm just going to make the first cuts. I'm going to make it in the first and the third hole, and I'm just going to show you one of them. Then I'm going to go ahead and do all the rest of them, and then we'll do a dry fit. It'll be okay. You can see that I've put the cable on to hold it up, or the wire on, and I have the backing on, and I'm just using my push tool to fasten the cardboard on. And I'll go ahead and do all that, and we'll flip it over, and then we'll have a look at the leveling tool. Okay, now let's have a look at what that looks like. Well, there's the picture in the picture frame, and I love the way it turned out. It's sort of rugged and rough, sort of outdoorsy looking with the barnwood. I thought it offset the picture just perfectly. Original art from Fred Anderson, a local artist, a beautiful artist. I'll put a link to Fred's Facebook page so you can go and check that out. But also, I remember I told you we were going to check out the little laser level. Let me show you this little guy. Now, this is the first time I've ever had any kind of laser level or digital level. It's a great little, I'm amazed, great little package. They're only like 60 bucks or something on Amazon. It's got a little tripod mount, so you can put it on your tripod if you have a tripod, but it also comes with a clamp and a device like that, so you can clamp it to doors and things like that. The little switch on the front of it is what turns it on, and when you do, you're not going to be able to see the lines very well. I can see them pretty clear, but on camera they don't show up very well. But it's auto leveling, and when you push the little button, if you get too far, it'll continue to auto level until you get too far. Then the light starts blinking so that it shows you that you're beyond there. I don't know if you can see it there. You can see it blinking there. It's because it's beyond the capabilities, but when you get closer, it stops blinking because it comes back to its level. So it's got vertical and horizontal, and you know what? You don't need something like this to hang picture frames, but unless you've got some, like I do, that are going to be going around a corner and you want to try and keep the same the same height or the same elevation, or if you're doing doors or cupboards or shelving, and it's going either in long span or maybe it's going around a corner, it's a great little item to check out. I'll put a link in the description box, and you can go check it out yourself if you want. I'm Colin Canet for Woodwork Web. Thanks for watching.